Imagine this. You're 60, maybe 65, and you've just climbed a set of stairs. Your breath is steady, your legs feel strong, and there's no hesitation when you reach for something heavy. But for millions of people past midlife, that's not the reality. After the age of 50, the body begins losing up to 1% of muscle mass per year, a process called sarcopenia. And it's not just about strength. Loss of muscle affects metabolism, blood sugar regulation, bone health, and even brain function. It's one of the most silent but most powerful predictors of how well we age. Now, here's the surprising part. The key to slowing, even reversing, this muscle decline may not be the foods you've always been told to eat. In fact, there's one humble bean, overlooked in many Western diets, that could rival eggs, even surpass them in certain ways, for muscle repair and growth after 60. And no, this isn't about protein alone. It's about the amino acid profile, the bioactive compounds that trigger muscle-building pathways, and the gut-muscle connection that science is only now beginning to fully understand. What if you could add just one food to your routine that not only supports your muscles, but also protects your heart, balances blood sugar, and even sharpens your mental focus? Research from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition shows that strategic plant-based proteins can stimulate mTOR pathways, the same pathways triggered by animal protein, leading to measurable gains in lean muscle mass, especially when paired with resistance training. In this talk, we're going to explore why aging muscles behave the way they do, how this bean compares to traditional protein sources like eggs, and what happens in your body when you fuel it with the right nutrients at the right time. You still learn why muscle loss accelerates after 60, and what science says you can do to reverse it. How this single bean activates the same repair signals as high-quality animal proteins. The timing strategy that maximizes muscle protein synthesis. How gut health and amino acids work together to keep you strong. A simple daily protocol you can start immediately to feel the difference within weeks. So if you've ever wondered whether it's truly possible to grow stronger, not weaker, as you age, stay with me. The science might just surprise you. Have you ever noticed how a simple task, like getting up from a low chair or carrying groceries, feels just a little heavier than it did 10 years ago? This isn't just getting older, it's biology. After age 50, your body begins to experience a silent shift in how it maintains muscle. The process is called sarcopenia, and while it might sound like a disease, it's really a natural decline in muscle protein synthesis, the process your body uses to repair and rebuild muscle fibers. Here's what the research shows. As we age, 3 key things happen at the cellular level. First, the signals that tell your muscles to grow, like mTOR, the mammalian target of rapamycin, become less responsive. Think of mTOR as a construction foreman. In youth, it's constantly shouting, "Build more muscle." But after 60, that foreman's voice gets quieter, meaning your muscles don't respond as robustly to the same amount of protein or exercise. Second, the satellite cells, your muscles' repair crew, decline in both number and efficiency. When you're younger, every time you lift something heavy, or even take a long walk, micro tears in the muscle fibers signal these cells to rush in, patch things up, and make your muscle stronger. But with age, fewer of these repair cells show up, slowing the rebuilding process. And third, your digestion and nutrient absorption subtly change. Your stomach produces less acid, your gut microbiome shifts, and this makes it harder to break down and fully absorb the amino acids from protein-rich foods. It's like ordering high-quality bricks for construction, only to have half of them lost in shipping. Now here's the empowering part. While sarcopenia is common, it's not inevitable. In fact, several studies, like one published in the Journal of Cachexia, Sarcopenia and Muscle, show that the combination of resistance training and strategic protein intake can significantly slow, halt, or even reverse age-related muscle loss. But here's what most people miss. Not all proteins are created equal. After 60, your muscles require a slightly higher dose of key amino acids, especially leucine, to wake up that quieted mTOR pathway. This is why some older adults don't respond as well to the same foods they ate in their 40s. Think of it like this. If you have a dry sponge, you can't just sprinkle a little water and expect it to become fully hydrated. You need a strong, steady stream to reactivate it. Similarly, aging muscles need specific protein sources in the right amounts at the right times to fully trigger repair and growth. And this is where our surprising bean enters the picture. Research is showing that certain plant-based proteins, when chosen wisely, can deliver enough of these critical amino acids to stimulate muscle growth comparable to animal proteins like eggs. Why is this so important? Because relying solely on animal protein as you age can have downsides for cardiovascular and kidney health in some individuals. But adding the right plant-based source gives you a double benefit, muscle support, and better long-term metabolic health. So before we reveal this powerhouse bean, I want you to pause and ask yourself, have you noticed changes in your strength, balance, or stamina over the last few years? Are you relying on the same diet you ate decades ago, expecting the same results? The good news is, science has evolved. We now know how to hack the muscle-building process after 60, even if the repair signals have quieted. And this next step is the key. So, what is this humble yet powerful bean that could rival eggs for muscle support after 60? That's the soybean. Now, before you jump to conclusions, let's unpack the science. Soy has been misunderstood for decades, but research is painting a very different picture, especially for aging adults. Here sits why soybeans are special. First, they are one of the very few plant-based foods considered a complete protein. That means they contain all 9 essential amino acids your body cannot produce on its own. Most beans are incomplete. They lack sufficient amounts of key amino acids like methionine or lysine. But soy is unique. Its amino acid profile is surprisingly close to that of animal protein, even matching eggs in its protein digestibility corrected amino acid score, PDCAAs, which measures how efficiently your body can absorb and use the protein. And here sits the kicker. Soy is particularly rich in leucine, the amino acid that acts like a trigger for muscle protein synthesis. Remember mTOR, the foreman that quiets down with age? Leucine is like giving him a megaphone. It tells your muscles, wake up, rebuild, grow. In a randomized controlled trial published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, older adults who consumed soy protein showed similar muscle protein synthesis rates compared to those who ate animal proteins like whey. That's huge, because for years it was believed that only animal protein could effectively stimulate muscle growth in seniors. But soy brings more to the table than just protein. It's loaded with isoflavones, plant compounds with powerful antioxidant and anti-inflammatory effects. Why does this matter for muscle? Because chronic low-grade inflammation, sometimes called inflammation, can interfere with muscle repair. By reducing inflammation, soy helps create a more favorable environment for your muscles to recover and grow. And there's a gut benefit too. So protein contains naturally occurring oligosaccharides, which act as prebiotics, feeding the beneficial bacteria in your gut. A healthier gut means better nutrient absorption, better immune function, and even better signaling between your digestive system and your muscles. This gut-muscle connection is a growing field of research, and soy seems to support it beautifully. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Isn't soy controversial? Doesn't it affect hormones? Here's what the research actually says. Moderate soy consumption is safe for both men and women even in older age. The phytoestrogens in soy are not the same as human estrogen. In fact, they're selective modulators that can have beneficial effects, like supporting bone health and cardiovascular function. Large population studies in Asia, where soy intake is much higher than in the West, show lower rates of cardiovascular disease and better aging outcomes, including muscle preservation. So let's zoom out. By adding a single serving of soy, whether it's in the form of tempeh, tofu, soy milk, or even roasted edamame, you're not just feeding your muscles, you're improving your gut, reducing inflammation, and supporting metabolic health all at once. And here's a simple question. If you could eat something plant-based that supports your strength as effectively as eggs, while also giving you these added benefits, why wouldn't you? If this insight is already opening your eyes to what's possible after 60, consider subscribing to this channel. There's so much more science like this that can help you take back control of your health and vitality, one simple habit at a time. But don't just take my word for it. In part 3, we're going deeper into the exact amino acid triggers inside soy that flip the switch for muscle growth and how they compare to eggs. You'll see why it's not just about the amount of protein you eat, but the type and how it signals your body to rebuild. Let's zoom in even closer, down to the molecular level. When you eat protein, it's not the whole protein your body uses directly. Instead, your digestive system breaks it down into amino acids, the tiny building blocks that repair and rebuild muscle fibers. But here's the key. Not all amino acids have the same effect. For muscle growth, leucine is the star. Think of leucine as the ignition key that starts the muscle-building engine. Without enough leucine, your body can have plenty of other amino acids sitting in the garage, but the engine just won't turn on. And this is where soybeans truly shine. They feature one of the few plant-based proteins that provide a leucine content high enough to activate the mTOR pathway, that crucial signaling system that tells your muscles, hey, it's time to rebuild. What's happening in your body when you eat enough leucine is fascinating. It directly stimulates a protein complex in your cells called mTOR, which acts like a master switch for growth and repair. In younger adults, mTOR is easily activated. But after 60, the threshold for activation rises. Your muscles become anabolic ally resistant. That means you need a more precise dose of high-quality amino acids to get the same response. Here sits what the research shows. A study in Nutrients found that older adults needed about 2.5 to 3 grams of leucine per meal to maximally stimulate muscle protein synthesis, compared to just 1.5 to 2 grams for younger adults. Another study in the Journal of Nutrition, Health and Aging showed that soy protein isolate, when taken in sufficient amounts, produced a similar leucine peak in the bloodstream as whey or egg protein, effectively overcoming anabolic resistance in seniors. So what does this mean practically? It means soy, when eaten in the right portion, can talk to your muscles just as clearly as animal protein, even if you're past 60. But it's not just leucine. Soybeans also provide arginine, which improves blood flow and nutrient delivery to muscles, and glutamine, which supports recovery and immune health. This multi-amino acid synergy makes soy a highly functional food for aging bodies. Now you might wonder, so should I just eat a huge portion of soy once a day? Not quite. Here's where timing matters. Your muscles can only use a certain amount of amino acids for building at one time, usually about 20 to 30 grams of protein per meal. Anything beyond that gets oxidized for energy rather than used for repair. So a better approach is to spread your protein intake evenly throughout the day, hitting that leucine threshold at least 2 to 3 times daily. For example, 1 serving of tempeh or tofu at lunch, around 20 grams of protein, 1 serving of edamame or soy milk with an afternoon snack, a balanced dinner with another quality protein source. This pattern keeps the mTOR pathway activated periodically rather than flooding it all at once and wasting potential. Here's another interesting fact. Studies show that when you combine plant proteins like soy with a small amount of resistance exercise, even simple bodyweight movements, it amplifies the leucine signal dramatically. It's like giving mTOR not just a knock on the door, but a loud, confident knock that can't be ignored. So here sits a question for you. What if you paired the right food with just 10 to 15 minutes of strength work daily? How much stronger could you be in 30 days? Because in part 4, we're going to connect the dots between your gut health, inflammation, and how well these amino acids actually reach your muscles. And this is where soy's unique prebiotic fiber gives it an edge over other proteins. Before we dive in, if you're finding these insights valuable, take a moment to subscribe. It helps us bring you more science-backed strategies to stay strong, focused, and resilient at any age. Let's step back for a moment. We've talked about amino acids, mTOR signaling, and why leucine is so critical. But here's a piece most people overlook. It doesn't matter how much protein you eat if your gut isn't absorbing it efficiently. As we age, digestion subtly changes. Stomach acid production decreases, making it harder to break down proteins into absorbable amino acids. The gut lining becomes more prone to inflammation, and the diversity of the microbiome, the trillions of bacteria living inside you, starts to shift. Why does this matter for your muscles? Because an inflamed or imbalanced gut can literally leak amino acids away, either by slowing absorption or by diverting them to immune responses instead of muscle repair. In fact, emerging research calls this the gut-muscle axis, a two-way communication system, where your microbiome affects muscle metabolism and vice versa. In a 2022 study published in Frontiers in Nutrition, researchers found that older adults with greater gut microbial diversity also had better muscle strength and function, even after adjusting for diet and exercise. This suggests that the health of your gut microbiome directly impacts how well your muscles respond to the food you eat. And this is where soybeans have a hidden advantage. Unlike eggs or whey protein, soy isn't just protein. It contains natural prebiotic fibers, specifically oligosaccharides like raffinose and stachyose. These act as food for beneficial gut bacteria such as bifidobacterial and lactobacillus. When you regularly feed your gut the right prebiotics, these bacteria produce short-chain fatty acids like butyrate, which reduce gut inflammation, strengthen the gut lining, and improve nutrient absorption. In simple terms, a healthier gut becomes a better gateway for amino acids to reach your muscles. It sets a beautiful synergy. Soy provides the amino acids your muscles need. Its prebiotic fibers improve your gut health, so those amino acids are absorbed more efficiently, and a healthier gut sends fewer inflammatory signals to your muscles, making them more responsive to growth. Contrast that with a diet heavy in processed foods, low in fiber, and overly reliant on certain animal proteins. It can sometimes promote gut dysbiosis, inflammation, and a reduced ability to utilize protein effectively. Here's another fascinating layer. Some studies suggest that gut bacteria themselves can produce small amounts of branched-chain amino acids like leucine from fermenting plant fibers. That means the right diet doesn't just deliver amino acids directly, it encourages your microbiome to help you create them. So when you choose a plant-based protein like soy, you're not just feeding yourself, you're feeding the ecosystem inside you that ultimately supports your strength. Let's make this practical. Pair soy with other fiber-rich foods like leafy greens, fermented vegetables, or whole grains to diversify your microbiome. Avoid eating all your protein in one heavy meal. Spread it across the day so your gut can process it efficiently. And consider a simple digestive reset, like chewing more slowly, staying hydrated, and including a small portion of fermented foods daily to keep your gut lining healthy. Ask yourself this: when was the last time you thought about your gut health as a muscle-building strategy? Most people don't make this connection, but it's one of the reasons some seniors respond better to dietary changes than others. Two people can eat the same meal. One will absorb and use it fully, while the other loses half of its potential simply due to poor gut function. In Part 5, we'll take this even further. We'll talk about when and how to eat soy for maximum muscle gains, because the timing of your protein matters just as much as the type. We'll also look at simple food pairings that enhance absorption even more. And if you're seeing how interconnected your gut, diet, and muscles really are, take a second to like this video. It helps this information reach more people who need it. Let's talk about timing. You've probably heard the old advice, just get enough protein every day, and you'll be fine. But for aging muscles, when you eat protein can matter just as much as how much you eat. Here's what the research shows. After 60, your muscles become less sensitive to the amino acids you consume, a phenomenon called anabolic resistance. To overcome it, you need not only the right amino acids, like leucine from soy, but also frequent triggers throughout the day to remind your muscles to rebuild. A 2019 study in the Journal of Nutrition compared older adults who ate most of their protein at dinner versus those who evenly distributed protein at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The group with even protein distribution built more lean mass and had better strength outcomes despite eating the same total amount of protein. This means if you're saving all your high-protein meals for dinner, you're missing multiple opportunities to activate muscle repair earlier in the day. So how does soy fit into this? Soy is incredibly versatile. You can work it into 3 key protein signals throughout the day. Morning. A glass of unsweetened soy milk, or even a soy-based smoothie with some spinach and berries. This kickstarts your mTOR pathway early in the day, especially after an overnight fast, when your muscles are primed to receive nutrients. Afternoon lunch tempeh or tofu, with a side of whole grains and greens. Adding a small amount of healthy fat, like olive oil or avocado, can slow digestion slightly, ensuring a steady release of amino acids over time. Evening. Lightly steamed edamame, or a soy-based miso soup as part of dinner. This final signal before rest supports overnight muscle repair. Now here's an important synergy. Pairing soy with vitamin C-rich foods, like bell peppers or citrus, can enhance collagen synthesis and support connective tissue along with your muscle fibers. And pairing it with fermented foods, like kimchi or sauerkraut, improves gut flora, making amino acid absorption even more efficient. Think of it like creating the perfect orchestra for muscle building. Soy is the main melody, but you need supporting instruments, fiber for gut health, vitamin C for connective tissue, and resistance exercise as the rhythmic beat that ties it all together. And speaking of exercise, timing protein intake within 2 hours of light resistance training has been shown to amplify muscle protein synthesis, even in seniors. That means if you do a simple 10-15-minute routine of squats, push-ups against a wall, or resistance band pulls, following it with a soy-rich meal will maximize the benefit. So here sits a simple daily protocol. Morning. A soy smoothie after light stretching or a walk. Approximately 15 to 20 g protein. Lunch. A serving of tempeh or tofu with colorful vegetables and whole grains. Approximately 25 g protein. Evening. Edamame snack or soy soup. After a few minutes of bodyweight resistance work. Approximately 15 to 20 g protein. This gives you 3 distinct muscle-building signals across the day, helping overcome anabolic resistance while keeping your digestion light and manageable. Ask yourself, are you currently giving your muscles just 1 signal to grow each day or 3? Most people are unknowingly understimulating their muscles by cramming all their protein into 1 meal, but by spacing out your intake, especially with a high-quality source like soy, you create multiple opportunities for growth and repair every single day. In part 6, we'll put everything together into a simple, repeatable daily plan that requires no complicated meal prep. It'll be a clear blueprint you can follow to stay strong well into your 60s, 70s, and beyond. And if you're starting to see how small intentional changes can shift your strength trajectory, consider subscribing. This channel is all about giving you science you can actually use, not just read about. We've covered the why. Now let's bring it home with the how. If you're over 60, here's the truth. You don't need an extreme diet, endless gym sessions, or expensive supplements to maintain strong, functional muscles. What you need is a smart, science-backed routine that fits seamlessly into your life. Let's build it step by step. Step 1. Start your morning with a muscle signal. When you wake up, your body is in a mild catabolic state. You've gone 8 to 10 hours without food, and your muscles are ready for their first dose of amino acids. So, begin your day with something light yet powerful. A soy protein smoothie. Blend 1 cup unsweetened soy milk with a handful of spinach, a scoop of soy protein powder or silken tofu, and a few berries for antioxidants. This gives you around 20 grams of high-quality protein plus phytonutrients to lower inflammation. Pair it with 5 minutes of gentle movement, even just stretching or a brisk walk. This wakes up your circulation and primes your muscles for nutrient uptake. Step 2. Midday activation with food and movement. Around midday is the perfect time for your second muscle-building signal. Lunch. Try a simple stir-fry with tempeh or tofu, colorful vegetables, and a small serving of whole grains like quinoa or brown rice. Aim for 25 grams of protein here. Add a squeeze of lemon or some bell peppers for a dose of vitamin C, which supports your connective tissue. And if you can, include a few minutes of light resistance training before or after wall push-ups, chair squats, or resistance band pulls. It doesn't need to be long, even 10 minutes can dramatically amplify protein utilization afterward. Step 3. Evening repair and recovery. Dinner is your final opportunity to feed your muscles before the overnight fast. Evening. A bowl of miso soup with edamame or a small soy-based salad with fermented vegetables like kimchi or sauerkraut. This provides another 15 to 20 grams of protein plus gut-friendly probiotics to help with absorption. After dinner, consider a short relaxation routine, breathing exercises, or a few yoga stretches. Why? Because lowering stress hormones like cortisol improves muscle recovery during sleep. Step 4. Support your gut daily. Remember, your gut is the gatekeeper for amino acids. To keep it functioning optimally, add fermented foods like miso, sauerkraut, or kimchi a few times per week. Include prebiotic fibers from leafy greens, garlic, or onions alongside your soy meals. Stay hydrated. Water helps with digestion and nutrient transport. Step 5. Pair nutrition with consistency. The key to building or maintaining muscle after 60 isn't perfection. It's consistency with the basics. 2 to 3 protein signals daily, spaced about 4 to 5 hours apart. Light resistance movements daily, even just 10 minutes. Soy-based protein as a foundational food, supported by colorful vegetables, healthy fats, and gut-friendly fibers. When you repeat these small actions day after day, you create a cumulative effect that keeps your muscles responsive. And here's something empowering. Studies show that within just 2 to 4 weeks of consistent protein timing and light resistance exercise, older adults can measurably improve muscle protein synthesis, strength, and even balance. That means you don't have to wait months to feel the difference. You can start noticing changes in how you move, stand, and feel within weeks. So imagine this. A month from now, you climb the stairs with ease. Your balance feels steadier. You notice more energy throughout the day because your muscles are supporting your metabolism, not draining it. And all of that started with one small change, adding this powerful bean into your daily routine at the right times with the right intention. In just a moment, we'll recap everything we've covered today and give you one clear challenge to start today. But if you're already seeing how simple science-backed choices can change your future, take a second to subscribe and join this community. Together, we're building a stronger, healthier life, one habit at a time. So let's bring everything we've explored today into clear focus. You've learned that after 60, your muscles face a natural challenge called sarcopenia, a decline in muscle protein synthesis that affects not just strength, but metabolism, balance, and even cognitive health. But this process isn't a one-way street. Science shows you can slow it, even reverse it, with the right signals at the right time. We uncovered how soybeans, a humble plant-based food, can rival eggs when it comes to supporting aging muscles. Why? Because soy provides a complete amino acid profile, rich in leucine, the key trigger for mTOR, the pathway that tells your muscles, repair, grow, stay strong. We saw how soy does more than just feed your muscles. Its isoflavones reduce inflammation. Its prebiotic fibers nourish your gut microbiome, and that gut-muscle axis helps your body absorb and use those amino acids more efficiently. In other words, soy doesn't just give you the building blocks, it optimizes the entire system that uses them. Then we looked at timing. You learned that spreading your protein intake across 3 distinct muscle signals a day, morning, midday, and evening, outperforms eating all your protein at once. And when you pair those signals with even 10 minutes of light resistance exercise, you amplify the effect dramatically. Finally, we turn science into action with a simple, repeatable routine. A soy-based smoothie in the morning, paired with a bit of movement to kickstart your day. A balanced soy-rich lunch, supported by colorful vegetables and a few minutes of strength work. A light soy-based dinner or snack to fuel overnight repair. And daily gut support, fermented foods, fibers, and hydration to ensure your body fully absorbs what you eat. This isn't complicated. It doesn't require expensive supplements or hours in the gym. It's about small, intentional actions that stack up over time. Now let me ask you, what would it mean for you to feel stronger next month than you do today? How would your confidence shift if you could climb stairs with ease, carry groceries without hesitation, or simply stand taller, steadier, and more energized? Because that's what this is really about. It's not just about muscles, it's about freedom, independence, vitality. And it starts with a single step you can take today. Add 1 soy-based meal or snack into your routine, just 1. See how your body responds over the next week. Pair it with a few minutes of gentle strength work, and you'll already be signaling your muscles to wake up and respond. Remember, aging doesn't have to mean decline. Your body is incredibly adaptive at any age. With the right signals, nutritional, physical, and even mental, you can change your trajectory. So here's my challenge to you. Choose 1 small action from today's talk, and do it within the next 24 hours. Don't wait for the perfect plan. Just start. Because momentum begins with the first step. And if this conversation has sparked a sense of possibility for you, I invite you to join this community. Like this video, share it with someone who deserves to know they can grow stronger at any age, and subscribe for more science-based strategies to optimize your health and vitality, mind and body. You are not too old. You are not too late. You are exactly where you need to be to begin. I'll see you in the next one.